Okay, Dan here at Hardwood Hollow's Beyond Bushcraft Skills. Previous episodes we've talked about cutting out the steel for the knives. Let me grab the knife I'm going to be cutting the handle out for here. This particular knife is CPM 154 stainless steel. It's about a 5-inch long blade, and I've already gone ahead and drilled the holes in the handle. I like to drill and chamfer them. I don't know if that can show up. You can see how the holes are drilled 1/4 inch, and then the edges are chamfered. The chamfering actually gives the glue a little more place to settle, and the holes are reamed out to 1/4 inch, actually slightly over 1/4 inch, and as needed I hand file them before when I'm fitting the handles. This is olive green micarta, and you can see I've already laid out the handle shape on it like that. So now we're going to reset the camera over on the bandsaw. We're going to cut them out on the bandsaw. Okay, this is 1/4 inch micarta. I don't have a high-end bandsaw. This is actually just I think I paid $99, maybe $120 for it at Lowe's, but for this purpose it'll do the job. I'm using a wood cutting blade right here. This blade is, I think, a 8 or 10 tooth per inch blade. It's a fairly coarse blade. It's not a bimetal blade, so it will wear out. It's 1/4 inch wide, so that'll help me get around some of these curves and avoid having to do as much sanding. So let's go ahead and get started. Now this stuff does put some fume out, so I am going to have the shop vac going, so I won't be talking during this section, and to pick up the debris, because this uses fabric plus a resin similar to fiberglass resin, which you don't want to breathe. So I'm also going to have my respirator on, which will make it harder for me to talk, and the shop vac going. So let me go ahead and get my safety gear set up, and then we'll go ahead and cut this out. Okay, I just wanted to quickly go over the safety gear I'm wearing. Of course, earmuffs, because I had both the saw and the shop vac going. Safety glasses, hat, and respirator. Now this respirator is specifically for welding fumes, but it's built very low profile. It has a rubber seal, 2 elastic straps. It holds very tightly to my head. I do get a little bit of leakage down here because of my beard, so keep that in mind. If you have facial hair like I do, you will get a little bit of leakage around the bottom. It seals good at the top and on the sides until it hits the facial hair, so you can get some leakage, but the addition of the shop vac sucking out the fumes helps. This shop vac doesn't have it. My large shop vac, actually, if I'm doing something with real heavy fumes, I put a second hose on it so that one hose is sucking up the debris that I'm creating, and then I run the second hose actually outside off the exhaust, or the blow part of the side of the shop vac that's blowing out, and that'll blow any additional dust and fumes directly outside instead of venting them down here in the shop. Alright, so you can see now I have the basic shape of the knife handles cut out. 2 of them, of course, opposing. Minimal waste. I had just about 3 little pieces here of waste, and that was it. So now we'll move on to the next portion, which is the sanding. Again, I have to use my I'll use my big shop vac as well as the little shop vac. I run them both on the sander because I work down here in my basement. Excuse me. Shouldn't be drinking soda before I get on the camera. Let me grab the blank here, so you can see now the rough layout of the blank handle, and of course there's one to match the other side, so they will make the knife that thick, which is a little over ½ an inch thick, probably about 5/8. So not too thick, good, and I've got a good profile on there. You've got this shelf to keep your finger from sliding forward. This cutout right here, as I mentioned in the cutout video, if you have a small 1/4 inch or less ferro rod, you can strike sparks off that. Even if it's wider, if you catch just the outside edges of it and pull back, it'll actually lay some good sparks in. And of course, this is a 90-degree spine, so you'll get some good sparks off that too. So there we go. That's the handle cut out. We'll continue on when I get into the drilling of the holes and setting the pins and that sort of thing. Alright, thanks for watching. Pick you up in the next one.